Live from the studios at KUSI News, inside San Diego.
It's listed as the #1 fear. A lot of people have this fear, speaking in public. Right. Business communications expert will be here to show us how to overcome that fear and how to be able to speak in front of people. It can actually change your life once you learn to do this.
Apparently we don't have that fear.
Yeah, Dan, you don't. Have
no, I don't.
Okay, coming up, public speaking can be a very rewarding experience. We're going to show you how to overcome your fears. A lot of people are afraid of public speaking. In fact, it's one of the #1 fears. Welcome back this morning. Speaking in public, it's a common fear, but it can be very rewarding if you can learn how to do it. Business communications expert Dan Bristol-Smith is here to show us how to develop your public speaking skills and why it can be good for you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
First of all, what is so frightening for people about speaking in public?
Well, you know, it might have been an experience that they had way back when they were a child. You know, Oprah shares this story of in 4th grade, she raised her hand. She was called on by the teacher. She went up to the front of the room and she did something wrong, and the teacher said, "You were wrong." And what that did for her is just absolutely crushed her.
Yeah.
And that was something she had to get past. So it could be a childhood event, or even just as adults, we're so judgmental of ourselves. We put so much pressure on ourselves that we have to be perfect, and we really can't live up to that. So we have to just be ourselves and make mistakes and, you know that we're all human.
And I can imagine once in a while you're feeling like it's you and there are so many other people in front of you and all the ideas that are running through their head. What are they thinking? You may have a lot on your mind that distracts you or makes it very nerve-wracking for you to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what I help people do is really get calm, and just so they can be themselves up at the front of the room. And I teach classes through Speak for Success. Companies bring me in to work with managers and sales teams and even executives, because everyone still has this fear no matter how high up they are inside the organization.
All right. And you have some ideas on why it's so important, to be able to conquer this. There are some advantages to being able to get over
There's
this.
huge advantages, and I just conducted a survey of 100 executive women, and what I found out was that this skill was critical for them to rise up the organization and to be in a leadership role. So particularly for women, it allows them to be seen and heard. They get the promotions, they get new opportunities, and they become a role model for other women too.
So overcoming this can really have a lot of advantages financially, because when you move up in the ladder, you're moving up financially as well. Yeah. And also with self-fulfillment, when you're doing something that's a little bit more challenging, you'll be more fulfilled.
Absolutely. And I wanted to make a comment for women in particular. You know, there's so many women that stay home to raise their kids. And if I could just give some advice for just one thing that they can do to keep their skills up, you know, volunteer, be a part of the PTA. You know, be part of the local animal shelter. Be an advocate for something so you're still using those skills for good, so when you come back into the workplace, you're able to, you know, hit the ground running and advance within your career.
Kind of staying fresh and up to date, too, when you're out there in the community and you're meeting different people. It's a good networking opportunity, too. You also put together a great book. It's called Overcome Your Fear of Public Speaking. And you have some tips from your book for us, too, some strategies people can use to help do that. And we want to show those to people as well. Here you go. Developing it. You say first attend a class.
Right. Attend a class. And, of course, I offer classes through Speak for Success. I've got a program coming up in August that's open to the public here in San Diego. But there's other great opportunities, too. Community colleges or Toastmasters. You know, great ways to get out there and just practice and develop this skill.
That can be more affordable for people who maybe can't afford a class.
Yeah.
Also, you say as well that you want to be able to think of your speaking as a conversation.
Right. When I gave my first large presentation, it was to 500 students, and I was just completely overwhelmed by how many were there. What I learned on my feet was just to look at one person at a time, as if I was having a conversation, and that made me feel a whole lot better, and that's something that I teach through all my programs.
Makes it a little bit easier, too, and if you're thinking about your audience and the people that you're talking to, you might be able to relate to them a little bit better if you try to find some tidbit or some information about the group that you're speaking
Right,
to.
and even one of the other suggestions is to always arrive early. You know, meet people before so that you've got some rapport built up, and it doesn't feel like, you know, me versus them, but I'm part of the group rather than, you know, being alone standing on that stage with all of those eyes looking at me, which can really be nerve-wracking.
Yeah, and it might also give you some ideas for your talk as well.
Exactly.
Well, it's very nice to meet you, and of course you get more information on our website at KUSI.com on overcoming the fear of public speaking. go to our website. Thanks so much, Dana.
Thank you, Bridget.
Okay.